Hello and welcome to the WAMD We Are Motor Driven podcast. I am Paul Harold with Sons of Speed, together with my colleague Brendan Appel with Sons of Speed, and we also have
Harvey Briggs from Rides and Drives,
and
Jennifer Jensen from Auto Exotica and The Median.
And today we have a special guest, Tom Appel from Consumer Guide, who every year does a special list of his Best Buy vehicles for the year. So we are with Tom right now, and we're going to go over what his 2026 Best Buy picks are. And this is going to be very fascinating because it's always good to see not only what the best cars are, but what are the best cars in terms of value, in terms of reliability, and everything else. So, Tom, take it away.
Well, hi, guys. Thanks for having me. First of all, love the podcast. The Consumer Guide Best Buys have been around since 1970.
Wow.
And I will later share a list. I did actually do a blog post about the 1970 Best Buys.
Oh, nice.
And I'm happy to say that the Chevy Nova made the list.
as it should.
As it should. Pretty simple, affordable car. Actually, that's a really good example of what a Best Buy should be. It should fit the category that it's in very well. It should be relatively affordable. And then after that, it shouldn't do anything wrong. Those are really kind of the standard points for a Best Buy car each year.
Those are good points. I like those.
And the American market has changed so much that it's all crossovers now, and it's difficult to actually find cars at all. And one of the interesting categories that's disappeared in the last couple of years is large car. There are no large cars left that aren't premium or luxury.
Interesting.
So we killed that category. I think the only thing that might fit there is the Toyota Crown. But yeah, kind of a strange world. But we did put together our list for 2026. I'm pretty happy with it. I just went down it really quick before I talked to you guys. And yeah, I can live with this.
Nice.
So what are some of the highlights on the list for you, Tom?
One of the interesting things is the subcompact crossover list. That is a category packed with really good stuff. And I think that's great because that's where young buyers are moving to now anyway. They're not as affordable as they could be. They're not as affordable as they once were. But a lot of the stuff there is good. And I recommend that any young shopper, any first-time shopper looking for a car, drive virtually everything in that category. Take the time and just drive the stuff because it's good. And they solve different problems. You've got cars in there that are very quick. You've got cars in there that are value-packed. The Nissan Kicks, for example, was redesigned, got a little bit more power, but it packs a lot of value.
It really does. Thing. Yeah, the Kicks is nice.
Yeah. One of the problems with the Kicks is even though it got more power, it's still like one of the least powerful cars in the class. So if you're looking for that muscle, if you're looking for a little stoplight sprint on your commute, this isn't that ride.
And I think the CVT in that doesn't help it either. So.
No. And then here's a piece of bad news. And I think people want to act on this if they think they like these cars. But the 4 small subcompacts that General Motors imports from South Korea, the Invista and the Encore GX from Buick and the Trax and the Trailblazer from Chevy, these are going to go up in price. It's just a matter of time. The U.S. has now cemented their deal with South Korea, and unfortunately, the tariff is going from 2.5% to 15%.
Yeah.
So there's no way they can hold the line on prices.
Wow.
But these cars are a great deal right now, and they're fun to drive. They're relatively refined, nice use of space. There's a great fuel economy. Everything is there. If you can live with the drone of a 3-cylinder engine, these cars are worth looking at.
Tom, didn't South Korea buy down its rate a bit? I thought they were writing a $350 billion check to get a better rate. Is 15% that better rate?
I think it is. Yeah. I think 15% seems to be the rate that everyone is getting. That's like where this is going. And it's a lot of money. It's a 6x increase in the tariff for everybody. And it's huge. And there's no way that General Motors can sell a car with margins this low like this for very long.
Right.
Yeah, we should note that usually those tariffs are on whatever the importer is paying for the vehicle, but in the case of vehicles versus the case of like, I don't know, socks or something like that, the cost is a lot more, on the
Right.
because
The profit margins are way down from a pair of Nike shoes.
As Tom said, the margins aren't huge, so the importer is paying the wholesale price isn't that much less than the actual retail price.
So if it's on the lot right now,
maybe go get it.
Yeah,
You should
wanna
go drive it
right now.
Trax was the Midwest Automotive Media Association Family Vehicle of the Year, right?
Yeah.
A couple
I did not
years
know
ago.
that was not built here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Tom, maybe you should start by kind of telling everybody what categories of vehicles you do in your Best Buy list so that they can see if the category they're looking for is something they should go check out at consumerguide.com.
yeah, get your notepads out now, people.
Good point. Yeah. So we've got the entire market basically divided up into easy categories. We've got subcompact crossover, compact crossover, midsize crossover, large SUV, and then we've got the same thing basically for cars. And then we've also got minivans and pickup trucks.
Wow.
And a lot of those segments are divided up into standard and premium or luxury.
Now, I noticed you didn't say sports cars. Do you need me to make that list for you?
We used to do sports car, but it was just under conventional sports car or non-luxury sports car, it was just always Corvette. And no one really cares what Consumer Guide has to say about a premium sports car.
That's why Brendan would make the list for you.
Right.
Yeah.
So what are the criteria then that make up, your judging on these cars?
We're big fans of dollar value. And after that, it's how well a car really works in the category that it's in, and then relative to the other cars that we put in that category. And we try not to have, we try to make the categories as clear as possible, which is why we have as many as we do. Like we were talking about the subcompact crossover class. Really an interesting class. And it ranges from the utilitarian, which is the Nissan Kicks, to the kind of sporty and a little bit expensive Mazda CX-30. So a lot going on there. We did pick the CX-30 as the Best Buy again this year, just because it gets a lot done. Not only is it, if you're small, I don't fit in this thing at all. My daughter just bought one. So she took her dad's advice, which I'm very happy about.
Proud moment.
But that car, especially in turbocharged form, is ridiculously fun to drive. Yet it's still a really practical small car that gets reasonably good fuel economy. Turns out is insurable.
Helpful.
Very nicely screwed together. Nice interior. It's almost in your luxury car. So even when you try to tighten up these categories, there is a broad range of products in them.
Okay.
All right. Where do you want to start us off, Tom?
Well, we talked about subcompact cars. We could talk about premium subcompact cars, where I personally made a very controversial choice. And I know you guys are going to agree that this is controversial, but premium subcompact crossover, one of the picks is the Alfa Romeo Tonale.
Wow.
Really?
Now, picking an Alfa Romeo already controversial because we're all in the back of our heads admitting that they're not that reliable.
Yes.
But the Tonale is actually based on the Stellantis platform. It's basically the same car as the Dodge Hornet, just kind of spiffed up. But it is shockingly affordable for something called an Alfa Romeo. It's all sorts of fun to drive. And then people who test drive the car will have to make their own decision as to whether that engine is crude or if it's fun.
That's kind of complete opposite ends of the spectrum.
Because there's plenty of power there, and that engine's very visceral. I don't know that the Tonale makes for a great Alfa Romeo, but it's kind of a fun, premium little car. It's fun to drive. It's shockingly affordable for an Alfa Romeo, and you're going to get the better warranty of a premium car. And if you ever wanted to dip your toes into the kind of weird exotic car segment, this is as little as you can dip your toes into them.
I totally
just
hear you on
barely
that.
exotic.
Aside from the warranty, what else are you getting over and above the Hornet in a Tonale?
Brakes, I think on everything you get better brakes. You get wheels and tires that are big improvements, and a much nicer interior.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the Dodge interior isn't bad, but this is a nice interior.
Yeah, as you say, that's a way to dip your toe into the exotic luxury realm without getting too far into the water.
Yeah, I don't think you can get too badly burned with this deal, which is how it made it on the Best Buy list.
Well, and there's a hybrid version of the Tonale as well, correct?
I don't know if that returns.
Okay.
For 2026. I think
Gotcha.
it does not. That's a funny story because it launched as a hybrid.
Right.
Right.
And that hybrid drivetrain was, I'm looking for the right word, terrible.
There were a lot of problems.
But you
with
know
that.
what, Tom? It did have really cool graphics when you plugged it in.
That's true. That's true. And then for the second model year, they went with the same engine that was in the Hornet, the Dodge Hornet, which is the 2-liter turbo.
Right.
Which is a really caffeinated engine, kind of fun. And I think for this year, actually, there's a pause on the Dodge for 2026.
Okay.
Right.
And it's entirely possible they don't build 2026 Tonales. So this entire conversation may be academic.
Yeah, part of that pause is because of a 25% tariff on
Yes.
cars coming from Italy. So
Yes.
that
and really
value
weak demand.
relationship goes out the window with that.
Right.
However, as they sit on the lot right now, you might be able to scoop one up, especially if they do axe the 26 model year.
Sure.
They're going to be clearancing out the rest of those pretty quick. Which might
Interesting.
not leave
Yeah.
Alpha with many cars at all then, because didn't they kill a Stelvio? Or at least the quadrifolio of the Stelvio. So is the Stelvio sticking around?
What is left of Alpha now? I think the Stelvio is still there and the Ghibli is still there. No, that's Maserati.
The Giulia would have been in the other one,
Giulia,
but I think they
thank
killed.
you.
I'm pretty sure they killed that too. I don't know that the Giulia is still around or not.
Oh boy.
I wouldn't want to be an Alpha dealer these days. That's all I want
No,
to say.
unless you like free time.
Right. What else makes it in that luxury list next to the Tonale?
So a couple of easy choices. The BMW X1, it's the cheapest, most affordable way to get into the BMW lineup.
Okay.
Yet it feels like a BMW. 2-liter turbo, really predictable car. Nice interior, well screwed together, rides and handles fantastic, good mileage. Everything about this is kind of good representation of BMW at a very affordable price. And then a car I loved, I didn't know I was going to love it this much. I drove it very recently, the Volvo EX30.
Okay. I'm so glad that's there, Tom. I love that thing. I think that is one of the best executions of an electric car currently available on the market, period.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm stunned by how affordable it is, especially because this is a car with a really, really weird resume.
Right?
It was supposed to come in 2 years ago at about 35 grand. But then the tariffs happened. Volvo had a hard time getting this thing screwed together. They were going to build them in China.
Yep.
Everything worked against Volvo. It didn't make it that first year because remember it was up for consideration by the North American Car of the Year folks, and they had to kill it because it wasn't going to arrive
here.
in
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
So it finally gets here. They did have to raise the price, and the vehicle I drove was $48,000.
Okay.
Which still seemed like an incredibly good deal for a car that is. It seems like I think legacy automakers keep trying to build cars that feel like regular cars but are electric. This was different. This car was conceived as an electric car,
Yeah.
and it was quick and it fun, and it made really good use of space inside, as if they fully understood the whole concept of flat battery under the floor. Like
Exactly.
you could slide across the back seat. There's no hump. It's but I just enjoyed driving this car, and the interior is simple, but not too simple. Like they haven't gone Tesla too far.
Right. Exactly. And
so
the
you've
layout,
got-
like you said, Tom, the layout inside is they understood the EV, resume. Like,
They understood the assignment, is what you're
yeah,
saying.
where the switches are. All of the things are intelligently planned out, and it's spacious, but it's small. It's weird. And if you get the all-wheel drive one, the dual motor, it's apparently the fastest Volvo they've ever made.
It's really quick, yeah.
So yeah.
It's absurdly fast. When you drive something that fast and you find a stretch of road and you can just hit 70, just slam the accelerator down.
Yeah.
You're reminded of all those videos on YouTube of Mustang GTs going sideways. And you wonder why you're not going sideways, because you're going so much faster than even that car.
Right.
But no, it's shocking how well it handles that speed too.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the final assembly for that vehicle now? Is it still
It's going to be, is that South Korea or is that in Sweden?
Okay.
I think it's in South Korea.
Was there talk of moving that to Mexico to try to avoid the tariffs at some point?
I don't know about that car to Mexico.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know about that one either.
There was some car that
Volvo
was...
Geely has a deal with Renault to assemble vehicles in South Korea.
Okay.
And I think that this is a product of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm very glad that's on the list, Tom. High fives.
High five.
Yeah, they've been killing it over there with
Seriously.
Volvo and even Polestar too.
Oh man, I just drove this is not on the list because I drove it too recently, but I drove the Polestar 3, and
Yeah.
I'm just as impressed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's expensive though, but still.
Does the EX30's big brother, the 90, get on your list?
We'll find out.
No,
Don't jump ahead.
not for this year. At least,
I
yeah.
spoiled the surprise.
You're skipping.
No, you know what? I just drove it, and I'm going to see if I can add it to the list. But there's all sorts of people I got to get to approve this because we license these out. But the Hyundai Ioniq 9 is a really, if we're talking about like big crossovers that are electric, that one's pretty spectacular.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but that's
I
what it
drove
was.
that for a week. It was really nice, really nice.
Yeah, a really good family vehicle.
For sure.
So how do people use your list in their shopping? I mean, it would seem to me something as comprehensive as that is really important for consumers to get into and dig through.
How I want them to use the list is simply to check out the vehicles that we pick in a category and test drive them all. I think that ultimately, once you've identified the vehicles that are worth consideration, there are all sorts of little things that will matter to you. And it was fun. This was very revealing, but I went car shopping with my daughter, and the things that she cared about weren't things that I thought she would care about. But
like
she
what?
did care. I was surprised how much she cared about interior materials quality. Which was interesting. And then she was really interested too in not driving a car that looked like every other car on the road,
Nice.
Okay.
which is interesting. And then she really, really, really wanted power. And I've driven with her, and it's frightening.
Yeah.
Tom, I like your daughter.
Yeah, she is a late breaker. Wow.
We should be good on a racetrack then.
Yeah, she's got the fundamentals down.
Excellent.
So what's the next category on your list?
We have compact crossover. And this is a tricky category because there's a lot of stuff in it
Yeah.
and a lot of good stuff in it. So I kept the list short so that it was really just the stuff I thought was best. I didn't, because if you get too deep into this, everyone's going to start asking, why not the CRV? Why not the RAV4? And those are good cars.
Yeah.
But I've got the Nissan Rogue, the Subaru Forester, and the Mazda CX-50 there. And interesting too, the Rogue, the Forester now available with a Toyota assisted hybrid.
Yeah.
Right.
It's very good.
Yeah, I was on the launch program for that, and I've recommended that to several people. I think both from the mechanical standpoint and the Subaru all-wheel drive system and all that give you a lot of advantages. But then I was really impressed with the overall value of the packaging of that. I thought the price-wise and everything, it just makes a ton of sense against when you start stacking it up against a RAV4 and a CRV. So good choice.
There's a really interesting thing about the Forester too, and you guys probably know this, that the Forester hybrid did not go with an e-assist on the rear axle, but instead went through a mechanical connection so that it could maintain its symmetrical all-wheel drive system. So this is still, despite the fact that it's a hybrid, and if this same drivetrain was found in something like a RAV4, would have an e-axle in back to maintain that all-wheel drive. That's not the case here. And you lose some fuel economy because of it, but you maintain the all-wheel drive traction that Subaru is famous for. And I'm kind of happy that they did this. I'm really impressed that they put in the effort.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a nice differentiation between it and other vehicles in the category. And I forget what the MPG difference was, but it's not more than 1 or 2 miles per gallon, I don't think, is it?
No, it's not huge.
Yeah.
It's not huge. I think it's like 2, both city and highway. So
And honestly, Subaru should be given kudos for sticking to their brand, which is that symmetrical
Yeah.
all-wheel drive is very important to what it means to be a Subaru.
Right.
And so to stick to it and say, you know what, just for a couple miles a gallon, we're not going to destroy, what is one of our trademarks and how this vehicle might drive differently if we changed this. Good for them.
yeah, good for them. And full disclosure, my wife and I are multi Subaru owners. We've had a Forester and a Crosstrek. And the great thing about Subaru, especially if you live in Chicago or someplace north of it, is that like 8 days a year, you are the smuggest, happiest people in the world because you have a car that is going to get home through a blizzard.
Yes.
It's just so good in loose, deep snow. And yeah, you just laugh at other people because you have a Subaru. And it's good that the hybrid still does that.
Exactly.
That's really cool.
Fun fact about Tom, he's never put a canoe yet on his Subarus. Despite our best efforts.
Someday.
Yeah, my joke there is that Subaru pays owners to put kayaks on top of their cars.
Yes. And then your check is still not arrived, which is why you've never put the kayak up there.
Yeah. No kayak on my car.
Subaru, you can send that check to him at consumerguide.com.
There you go.
But one of the other cars on this list, Nissan Rogue, that is just a car that makes fantastic use of space, and it's fun to drive, and surprisingly gets away with using a 3-cylinder engine. I don't think most people would know that this is a 3-cylinder, but it puts out enough horsepower, and it's really good on gas. So nice way to go. But I'm most impressed by the interior space. It just feels roomy inside, rides well. It feels almost premium. Just a good choice there. And it's funny how the extent to which Nissan screwed up selling this car by overproducing cars during COVID, underproducing the next year, and then they had year-old cars to sell. It's been a horrible mess for Nissan, but the Rogue's a good car despite the marketing flaws. People should look at that.
Is that still a CVT, Tom? Or did they?
It is still a CVT, but it is, I think, is it their 3rd generation? It is a better CVT. But yes, and if that's something, my thing about CVTs is I've noticed is that if you're like under 30 or 35 and you don't remember a turbo hydromatic, you don't have a problem too much with CVTs as long as they work well.
Yes.
You're not waiting for shifts, basically.
It's us old fogies. Yeah.
If you're me, you're like, this is a little droney.
Yeah.
But the young drivers don't have that don't have that expectation.
That's a good point.
Fair enough.
And the next category.
We can go premium compact crossover, and I'm going with a really easy pick here, and that's the Genesis GV70.
Oh,
Yeah, for sure.
What a delight! This is a small crossover from Genesis. It's their smallest car. It's now they're in the process of slaying all their sedans. I think this is now the most affordable Genesis too. I might be wrong on that, but you can't beat this thing for power, especially if you get the V6, the twin turbo
or
V6.
handling.
Yeah, and
The handling.
Pardon me?
The handling is amazing in that vehicle.
Also, it's got some steering feel. You wouldn't expect that, but it actually, it's fun to drive. And I've said this before, the interior of most Genesis products would not disappoint in a Bentley. It's stunning how nice these interiors are. There's a lot going on here. They get a little bit pricey, so you have to watch the options. Absolutely try the 4-cylinder version too, because the Turbo 4 is actually very quick. But if you want the power, step up to the 6. You can just save some money. But nice car.
Yeah.
Nice car.
Very, very nice car.
I've recommended that to several people.
Yeah.
Highly recommend it.
Excellent choice.
Yeah, I've been recommending the GV80 to people. They were looking for bigger stuff, and those people are happy.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I mean they've certainly solved their reliability issues that Hyundai had years ago, so you don't have to worry about that as much in a premium vehicle.
Right.
I think they're very competitive with like the Lexus counterparts.
Oh, yeah. The funny thing about Genesis is how badly botched his launch was. If you go back a decade and they just had 2 sedans that no one cared about that looked the same, and there was the confusion about which ones could be sold at dealerships, Hyundai dealerships, and which had to be sold through a Genesis dealership. It's amazing that Genesis survived it all.
And they're doing very well now too. So.
Yeah. And everything they sell is worth knowing about.
For sure.
Yeah. So we go up to mid-size crossovers. I took the really easy way out here. And again, if I dip too far into this category, then I have to include everything. So I just went with the Mazda CX-70 and the Mazda CX-90.
Wow.
Wow.
Bigger Mazdas. These cars feel very premium.
Yes.
The inline 6 is fantastic. And what a fun thing for them to do, to move to an inline 6.
Yeah,
It's a very
really.
luxury car thing to do.
Yeah, while everyone else is doing 4-cylinder, they stuck to their inline 6. Yep.
If you're listening and you've never really driven a good inline 6, oh, you don't know what you're missing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's hard to describe that kind of smoothness until you've experienced it.
Right.
You know, it's somewhere between the best engines and an electric engine, electric motor.
Right.
But these cars are nice. The only problem with the CX-70, CX-90 is they get expensive, but you don't have to spend that much on them,
Okay.
Also, I have my reservations about the plug-in hybrids. They're not nearly as smooth as the base cars. So I think that's a buy it or try it before you buy it kind of situation. But transition, like shifts were weird, and when the electric boost kicked in was weird. So my endorsement is strictly for the non-plug-in hybrid versions
Okay.
of these cars.
Okay.
Yeah, let me point out that this is why Tom's list is so important for people to consider, because I can't tell you how many people don't even remember that Mazda sells cars. I mean, like, it's just not on their radar screen. You see 1,000 CRVs and 1,000,
Right.
RAV4s,
RAV4s,
out on the road. And the Mazdas sort of kind of get lost in the translation or just in the sea of other vehicles. And a lot of people will never even think to consider it. But you look at this list and you're like, oh, this is the category I'm looking in. There's a few Mazdas right here. I should go check those out. And you'll be pleasantly surprised if you do. They're very
and
nice vehicles.
they're attractive. They look different.
And they drive good.
And
they're screwed together differently.
Their red paint color is awesome.
The best red. Soul
So
Red.
nice.
Soul
It's called
Red,
Soul
Micah.
Red, and it's
Yeah.
the best red
it's-
ever.
It's great.
But they also handle well.
Yeah, and that's the thing. In this category, if you want a mainstream brand car that drives well, you go to Mazda,
Yeah.
right? You don't go to Toyota or Honda. Those are fine, but one
Yep.
that's going to be interesting to drive is going to be the Mazda version in
sure.
that category.
Yeah, that's a driver's car versus an appliance.
Exactly. Good way to say
I
that.
think that's the point of the current campaign. Have you guys seen this campaign? I see it a lot online, where someone gets into a person's Mazda and goes, "Mazda,"
Oh, yes. Yes. Yep.
and then they go out and do something like really cool, like either they don't back into somebody because of the ADAS system, or they avoid a box on the highway or something like that, and then the other person's like, "Oh, Mazda
Yeah.
sold me."
There you go.
So what's next on the list, Tom?
And then we've got premium midsize crossover.
Okay.
This one, kind of an easy pick for me because it is not priced like the German cars, and because the interior is spectacular, and that is the Lincoln Nautilus. That, first of all, it's hard not to be impressed by the G-Riz dashboard.
Yeah, the surround screen.
Holy cow!
Edge to edge.
And I remember like thinking I didn't want to deal with that. Like that was just too much stuff, and I didn't want to figure out how to program it. But it's super easy.
Okay.
So you can have your music up there. You can pick the time of day. If you want a clock up there, you can have a navigation map up there, or you can have your travel trip information. It's really cool, but you get to where to put it. And it's incredible how that rides below your sight line over the hood of the car. It's so effective in just displaying all this information simply.
Yes.
And you think it's a little Star Trek, but it's really effective and actually kind of useful.
And you look over the wheel to see it.
Right.
In this vehicle, the Escalade IQ has a similar thing, but you look through the wheel. But the other thing, Tom, is that it does also have CarPlay, which will make Jill very happy. And then not only that, I remember I drove this car for a week. I believe when you put Waze up, it puts it up on the screen for you, like up there, because it's your car.
Okay.
So it's very, it's really useful.
It's CarPlay friendly. It's
very
as
CarPlay
opposed
friendly,
to some
exactly.
that are like, no, I don't want you to put that app. I want you to put my app first.
Right.
Exactly.
GM.
And it's very, as you said, it's very easy to work, like rework the order of things on the right side. It's really very well built, very, very well done, and it drives great. Lincoln's, I've owned that vehicle in a previous iteration. It was one of our family's favorite cars.
Yeah, I was worried about that dash when I drove the launch program on it, because I just thought it would be distracting with that much graphic all the way across.
Yeah.
But it does such a great job of presenting the information you really want right in front of you, and then the other information is peripheral but easy enough to get to. It's not distracting, which
Nice.
was my biggest fear.
So good choice, Tom.
Yeah. The other things about the Nautilus too, excellent room for 4 people, very quiet, handles well. Not that much fun to drive. There's a 2-liter turbo and a 2-liter turbo hybrid. You can pick between them. I don't know why you wouldn't go with the hybrid. It's not that much more money and you get the better mileage. But yeah, if you're not looking for fun exactly, but just real comfort, that's a great way to go. And the other car in that class, I lost it. The Lexus RX. Lexus always sort of nails this thing, and I'm always amused by Lexus pretending that its cars are sporty because they never are. The cars are not the
Right.
crossovers.
Right.
Right. The IS 500 is incredible, but
Very sporty.
Yes.
yeah. But like I drove the what is it, the F Sport Performance version of the RX, and it's there's no performance there. It is
Yeah,
It's
I
the
think
Sport Appearance
sporty.
package.
I remember. I think it was the NX or one of those crossovers when they launched it, and they had me do the F Sport version of it, and my headline was "Sport in name only."
Yeah.
Yes. That's exactly the thing, but that's okay because I think people want that. I think they want to look a little sporty, but they don't want to be challenged by actual sportiness. You know, and God forbid you give them something like steering feel. But the RX is what Lexus always should be. It's emblematic of everything that the brand is. It is incredibly refined. It is quiet. It is really well screwed together. The interior is modern without being challenging. The connectivity stuff all works really well and simply. There's almost nothing here to complain about unless you want some road feel, you know.
Okay.
But even the pricing is really compelling versus German vehicles. And that's always sort of been the case. Lexus is still not as much as they used to be. Lexus has gotten a little bit bolder pricing and stuff, but still a better deal than if you were to go with a Mercedes M-Class or a BMW 5 Series.
Right. Perfect.
All right. What else you got for us, Tim?
Large SUV. I've got two picks here. I like these picks a lot. One is the Ford Expedition. I think Ford just gets this right. That 3.5 liter V6 is both smooth, but still up to the job of towing a lot of stuff. Really well screwed together. And the way they price these things, large SUVs these days, even the non-luxury ones are basically luxury cars. So they are expensive, but within the field, you can do an Expedition at a base trim level for not too much money. And by that, I mean 70 grand.
What we used to
I know
think of
that-
as expensive, but not anymore.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds crazy, but that's what these things cost. The other pick is a newcomer, and that's the Armada, which I can't tell you
wow.
how much I disliked the old Armada.
Yeah, you
the
and everyone
QX80.
else. Yeah.
They were cramped and silly, and that V8 sucked. And like there was just nothing good about the old cars. But these new ones, significantly updated. They now use a twin turbocharged V6. The interiors are much more passenger friendly. They're much larger. They're roomier. This car handles surprisingly well. And for the moment, at least, Armada pricing is somewhat at a discount to things from General Motors or Ford.
Okay.
So that may not last if this proves to be in any way popular. But for the moment, there's a somewhat compelling dollar advantage to them as well.
So get it while it's unknown still.
Kind of, yeah, because that may not last, and we'll see. Nissan's had a hard time in a bunch of categories, and they haven't done well with big SUVs, and we know they didn't do well with big pickups.
Yeah, that was a failed effort.
Yeah, and this could be another difficult trip for them, but it's a nice truck.
Does it have a lot of what you call near luxury touches in there, given that it's Nissan?
Yeah,
and
it
not
feels
Infiniti?
pretty premium.
Okay, good.
I think that's almost now an expectation of shoppers in this category that even the most base versions of these vehicles be pretty premium.
Yeah, when you're spending 70,000, you kind of feel like it should get a little something for my money, right?
Right.
You would
yeah,
hope.
and these things are so expensive relative to what can we to the materials cost, perhaps.
Right. Right.
You know the margins on these are big.
Right.
Yeah.
What is the Armada starting at?
It starts at 58.
58. So you're about 12,000 cheaper than where the Expedition is starting.
Yep. Or I think the cheapest you could do like a Tahoe now is about 70.
Yeah.
68, 69, something like that. And that's out the door. I mean, they have base prices that are a little bit lower than that. But this category is absurd price-wise. The only saving grace is the resale values are really high. So once you're in, you can get out and not get too badly burned.
Big families love these things.
Unlike the super premium ones that you go into and will, see your 60% value go in 10 years or whatever.
Right.
Okay, what's next, Tom?
I've got mid-size pickups next. My pick here is controversial because I think it is the least interesting vehicle in the category. But it is also, I think, the most compelling for a number of reasons, and that's the Nissan Frontier.
I was going to guess that one.
Interesting pick.
Yeah, and I went with a single pick. Everything in that category now is powered by a turbocharged 4, or an available turbocharged V6. And that's fine. And those are powerful engines and they're fun to drive. But power delivery is not great around town in any of these. It might be a little bit better in the Ranger with the EcoBoost 2.3, but the Frontier is the least expensive starting, and you've got the V6, which is really smooth. It's kind of a big V6, a lot of smooth, easy torque, and it's got some trim levels at the bottom end that are relatively affordable. And I think that if you're just looking to get something you might use sometimes, but you're also going to commute in, this is the way to go. It's the easy solution.
Yeah,
the other stuff gets more exciting. It gets faster. It's probably more fun to drive, but it's also going to cost you more money.
Yeah, the fact that you can get into a Frontier for low 30s, low to mid 30s is pretty reasonable in this category now. I mean,
it is, yeah. And the recent update of this vehicle brought it up to date. So
it really did. Yeah, that update was very, very helpful.
I know. I was really surprised when I drove it, and pleasantly surprised about the quality of the materials and the overall driving experience. It's not as good as a Tacoma, but it's close enough that you kind of go, why would I spend all that extra money?
Right.
Yeah, the Tacomas have gotten really expensive.
Yeah, Tacoma's really good, but yeah, it is really expensive. It is shocking how quickly that truck gets to 60 grand.
Yeah.
Right.
You're like, whoa, this was to be. We all remember, I think, or are aware that there was a time when California was like half compact pickup trucks because they were so cheap.
Yep.
Like 8 or 9 grand cheap. Like they were.
Yeah, my first new vehicle, people in this room know it, it was a Ford Ranger in 1985 that I spent $7,500 on, brand new off the lot.
The good old days.
Yeah.
I owned a 91 Ranger that I bought for 11.2, I think. That was the sticker price. I don't remember what I paid for it, but I was selling cars at the time. And it had the 4-liter engine out of the Explorer, the 5-speed manual that was supplied by Mazda. This car was a hoot to drive. It didn't weigh anything. It was quick. It was very nicely screwed together. And yeah, it was dirt cheap. It was, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's not the case with small trucks anymore.
There are no
Not
more.
anymore.
There are no more dirt cheap vehicles. Period.
Yeah.
No, there really aren't.
That's sad.
So I've got minivans next, and I think these picks are obvious. I've got the Kia Carnival because it's a really nicely screwed together, decent vehicle for the least money possible. It's the only minivan that still comes in under 40 grand.
Seen a lot of these on the road.
Yeah. That's a really, really good vehicle. It
Yeah,
just is.
I did Operation Frodo with that last year.
That's what I brought.
Hauling dogs and, just comfort, and the hybrid version, you get great mileage on it.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why, if you have kids, you don't buy a minivan.
It's all about the stigma.
If you're not if you're not hauling anything, it's like that vehicle makes so much more sense than a Suburban.
SUV, yep.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
And yet that category keeps shrinking.
Yeah.
I think it's down to about 400,000 units total,
Wow.
across 4 brands. And that's tough. No one's making that much money out of that segment. And everything in that category is pretty good. The Odyssey is the most fun to drive. The Toyota's all hybrid. The fuel economy is actually really good.
It is in that Sienna, yeah.
And then you can get the Pacifica in hybrid as well.
And that's our other Best Buy, and that's the Pacifica, which is really a luxury car. It's surprisingly nice on the highway.
Yep.
That V6 is a honey. It gets reasonably good mileage on the highway, too, even if you don't get the hybrid. It's hard not to like that car, really, just for just general comfort. They get expensive in a hurry, though.
Yeah,
and
especially if you go to
really
like the
expensive. That's the
PHEV,
problem.
right, version of it.
Yeah. And what people need to understand, if you're taking a lot of road trips, a minivan's a great road trip car.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, it's so much quieter.
Way
and
better than
drives-
a Ram.
Yeah, exactly. Although a Ram's a pretty good one. But get a minivan if you're hauling kids around and you're going to take a lot of
dogs.
road trips.
Well,
or dogs.
It's so funny. I was talking to one of the PR people from Toyota, and they say, we always know when it's family vacation time because the media is always requesting the minivan when in
the
the
fleet,
summer
from the fleets.
when they're when they're going on family vacations. But I can't get anyone in them the rest of the year.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Well, speaking of Rams, our pickup choice this year is the Ram 1500. And we could sidestep my anger that the Hemi is back. It feels like this incredible step backwards in the evolution of the vehicle. But you don't have to get the Hemi because you have to pay extra to get it.
Right, that's the thing, is it is an option that you have to pay for. And let's all remember that, in 1972, the Hemi went away, and then it came back in 2005 or somewhere is about there. So, sometimes we do return to the old stuff, and we can get there.
What's old is new again.
Exactly,
Right?
exactly. But that Hurricane engine is great. I love mine.
I love the Hurricane engines, and that's absolutely the way people should go. You get the fuel economy and the power and the smoothness. Oh, my God.
And quiet.
I don't know if you guys remember this, but for a little while in the early mid-'80s, Mitsubishi was building a 2.6-liter engine for Chrysler. They went a lot of places, but they were building it for Chrysler, and they branded it Hemi. So it was the Hemi 2.6 four-cylinder.
We're going to forget about that. Like we forget about the entire late 70s U.S. auto market.
But there was a badge on the fender of some Plymouth Reliance that said Hemi.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my gosh.
Heresy.
It was a very sad moment in
We were
automotive
talking about the
history.
inline six earlier, and this is an inline six engine, so it's just got 2 turbos on it,
Right.
which makes it
Yeah.
fast and smooth.
Nice.
Which is really cool. But the Ram, it's still the nicest of the big pickups. It's got the full independent rear suspension, or not the coil spring rear suspension. I'm sorry,
Not the leaf springs.
which really helps ride and handling. And I just drove I think it's called the Longhorn, right?
Yes, the Longhorn is sort of like the bread and butter.
Yeah, and I drove that, and it was interesting to drive one with the cloth seats and the less premium interior. And it's still a spectacularly good truck.
Yeah.
The core values are there. Now, this one was the Hemi, and bad news for 2026. Not only is the Hemi back and you have to pay extra for it, it comes only with the Sport SRT exhaust, so it's loud.
Well, that's nice.
That's the point.
That's the target market right
That's
there.
the only
I know
reason
that's
people
the point,
want
but
that
it just,
back.
Oh, it hurts me. It hurts my soul.
Well,
I was so happy when Ram moved on to these great inline sixes.
Well, the good news is they didn't get rid of the inline sixes, so that you have the choice in but that's
Choice is
exactly
good.
why the point of the whole bringing the Hemi back was to get that exhaust note.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it doesn't really do much else better than.
Yeah, it doesn't do. It's not more powerful. It doesn't have more
tow more.
torque. It doesn't tow more. It doesn't. It's not more efficient. It's just loud.
It just sounds better.
So,
I
so
actually
Tom,
feel like Ram is punking its buyers.
yeah. But Tom, what we have to do is get together next year and see what the take rate was on the Hemi versus.
I really want to know that.
yeah,
Right.
because it's going to be interesting.
It's so interesting that Ford a long time ago started selling the EcoBoost 3.5. That was the first EcoBoost engine in the F-150. And the take rate was pretty high right from the beginning, but they did not kill the V8.
Yeah, you
Right.
can still get the 5-liter.
Yeah, and that went really well for them, but you have to take rate on because they've got that 2.7 now too, EcoBoost engine, and both of those sell pretty well.
I'll say a couple other things about the Ram is as you said, the interiors on those vehicles are amazing. And the higher up you go, the nicer they get.
Yeah.
But the other thing that I don't think they have on any other pickup truck are what they call the Ram boxes, which is basically over the wheel wells, you get outside lift up storage containers on both sides of the bed. And I can't tell you how useful
It's
those
brilliant.
things are actually to you. It is. They're brilliant. And everybody who doesn't have them is like, man, I wish I had those. Or I used to have those on my old truck, but I knew one doesn't. And these things are just great to put. I put a bunch of stuff in there, but they're just really useful. And I don't think you can get those on any other vehicles. So
Well, it's a great place to throw jumper cables,
Yep.
a shovel, like something like that, a collapsible shovel, and just
Yep.
keep it there for when you need it. Yeah, it's fantastic. And it's funny because I haven't seen much advertising in support of that recently.
right, which
They
is
made a very big deal about it for a while.
right. And I at this point, it's probably selling itself. But I've got my air compressor in one of
Probably.
those, and I've got a bunch of tie down cables in another one. I got tarps. It's like you could put a bunch
God,
of
you,
stuff.
you
in
have become a truck guy.
there. I know.
100%.
I did drive my Corvette today, though.
Do you have a cowboy hat?
Yes, several.
Okay.
And boots. So I can go full pickup anytime I want.
Full Ram.
Exactly.
So our next category was small car, and we do small And we used to do subcompact and compact, but there really aren't that many subcompact cars left anymore. The Hyundai Accent is gone. The Kia Rio is gone. And those are also like the last super affordable cars. But
Right.
Yeah.
we do live in a more expensive era. But our small car picks were the Honda Civic, which I think is a given. The Nissan Versa, which may be in a bad pick because I think they're going to stop building it this year. So that might not make the whole model year. And then the delightful and surprising Kia K4.
Nice.
I don't know if you guys spent any time with that.
Interesting looking vehicle.
It's good looking and it's kind of fun to drive. And the pricing is pretty acceptable. The Civic is still the Civic, and that makes me very happy.
Yeah,
it's,
for sure.
It's still the fun to drive pick in that category.
And you can get the manual in the SI.
Which I was gonna say.
And the R.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to go Type R and go a little bit all out, that thing is still awesome. But
Yeah,
even the
even
SI is great.
Even as big as it's gotten, it still feels,
Honda Civic-y.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
We love the Civic.
You know, it's funny. It's funny you should mention that, Harvey, because I had one dropped off not too long ago. And I didn't go outside. I just left the keys in the car because I had a conversation going on Zoom. And I went outside later to look at the car, and I'm like, that's an Accord.
Yeah.
Like, they've gotten so big. It looked so big to me. But yeah.
The funny thing, Tom, is you said earlier there are no more big cars, but that's because the Accord now is a big car. The Camry is a big car. Like, you look at the back seats of those things.
That's true.
And they're huge. You get in an Uber, and I only usually get in the back seats of these things when I'm Ubering, and then someone will pull up in a Camry or an Accord or what was the Nissan sedan? The
Ultima.
Sentra?
Altima, the Altima. And the back seats are enormous. And I'm
Yeah.
like, this is the size. This used to be like an Avalon size,
Yeah.
right? And so I think that's what happened is everything just got fatter, like us, you know.
Just like Americans.
They did, yeah. I was talking to a Ford engineer once, and the average American is 16% larger. And I don't know what larger means exactly.
I know what it means.
But since the 60s, we've gotten 16% larger. And accommodating people in cars had to reflect that.
That is hilarious.
We are big folks.
Yes, we are.
I am big folk.
We need a T-shirt. I am
Yeah.
big folk.
I am big folk.
I love that.
I like it.
Is that,
I should
does that
license
round out
that.
the list there, Tom, or you got some other category?
I got midsize cars real quick. The Toyota Crown and Crown Signia. I love that car so much.
Excellent car.
And it's close to a large car. I love the Camry, not because it's fun to drive, but because they're all hybrids now. And they made the hybrid pretty affordable. They didn't really raise prices to accommodate the hybrid. They did kill a base model, so the kind of prices did go up. But the hybrid system in the Camry is excellent, and it returns real fuel economy, and it's just a great way to go. No, that's both of them. Sorry.
Perfect.
It's interesting. The Crown Signia is the one that's the champ of those two. They were talking about, the Crown sedan. They can't sell. But
Right.
The Signia is going gangbusters.
Yeah.
I did not know that. I was kind of looking around for those numbers, so that's good to know because the Signia is so cool. It looks like a station wagon, but it looks
Right.
like a really sporty station wagon. The interior is pretty nice. Now you don't get the hybrid turbo engine. You just get the conventional hybrid, but that's plenty of power. It's actually pretty quick. But that is a good looking car.
Very good looking and comfortable to drive.
And
Seats
it's
are amazing.
so comfortable. I was just
Yeah.
about to say, in front or back.
Yeah.
It really
Well,
is.
they really did a good job of replacing Avalon.
Yeah,
Avalon
sure.
was that super smooth, really
Yep.
nice sedan.
Yep.
I was worried when it went away that they were going to lose that sort of near luxury platform, but Crown really filled it well.
What they really did is help those of
there's
us who have knee problems because that thing sits a little higher
Sits
off
a
the
little
ground.
higher,
and
yeah.
You can get in and out of
Well,
it
I was
easier.
just going to say that. This is Toyota's little secret that they would never tell you, but to accommodate an aging, weight-gaining America, the seat heights are actually higher. So as we get older and look for easier things to get into, not Corvette-like, and this is that car. It's got the high roof, the higher seating point, and it's also got the better visibility because of the high seat. And a lot of people don't buy cars simply because everything else is a crossover and they can't see it around it.
Right.
So
Another
I
good
will
point
say
there.
that as a tall person, I did smack my head on the roof of the Crown when I was getting in.
Oh, no.
Because the seat is higher.
The seat is higher
Yeah.
and the roof
And,
line
and
is
the roof line was a little lower on the
than an
Crown.
SUV. Right.
And so I smacked the back of my head when I got it the first time.
I hit my head too, and I'm
Yeah.
shorter than you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That was in the video we did.
So, Tom, a question for you. Which one of these categories it would be like the deepest? Like if you were to open it up, like you mentioned a couple times, and be like, okay, if we have to include everything, which one of these would be like, there's so many vehicles in there?
Oh, subcompact and compact crossover.
Okay.
Super deep categories. And if you're looking at our Best Buy picks and you don't agree, you owe it to yourself to drive other things you've heard good things about. No list is absolute, and there are things that people like or dislike about cars that are important to them that a lot of reviewing agencies just aren't going to cover.
Sure.
So take your time. That's the most important thing. And never let a salesperson tell you that it's the last one or whatever. That's not the case.
No, it's not.
You can always find
They'll make more.
But if you're financing a car now for 6 or 7 years, God forbid, you want a car you really want. So take your time, and read these lists. Find out the ones that are recommended. Drive those first. If you find something you like, great. And if not, just keep shopping.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think your list is great because it does what I typically do with people is go, here are 3 cars you should look at. Go drive them, see which one
Excellent.
fits you best. Don't commit to anything, and then go negotiate with people. And be ready to walk away when they won't give you the deal you want.
There's another dealership.
There's
that
another
probably
dealership.
will.
There's a car that's very close to the one you're buying. Don't fall in love with that brand.
Yeah. The best tip I can give anyone in a negotiation is the walkaway is your secret weapon. Just be like, this isn't working for me. I'm going to get up and walk away. They will chase you to the door.
They will.
And they will, that's your secret weapon.
You don't owe a dealer anything for taking some of their time.
Nope.
And just because you're sitting at a desk, and just because you test drove a car, and just because they put a piece of paper in front of you with a number on it, you are not obliged in any way to agree to that number. And also, no matter what they tell you, that number will be good in a week.
It'll probably get better, actually. If you let
Probably get a little bit better next week.
Well, who knows what things are going to look like given the uncertainties moving forward between tariffs and interest rates and everything else. So,
and as long as we're talking buyer advice too, my daughter ended up buying a 1-year-old certified pre-owned
Nice.
car. It had, I think, 8,000 miles on it, but it was a way for her to get into something much more expensive, more affordably.
Right.
So that is an option you have. Just check around for really new used cars.
Yeah,
Right.
and the
As opposed to
certified
the new
programs
car you're looking
are
at.
the certified programs are really good too.
They really are.
Yeah, you get a decent warranty on those.
Yeah.
You're going to save, 15-20% off of a new sticker. And I bought an Audi A4 off a CPO program. The car
cool.
had 30,000 miles on it, and it was a great value at the time.
So, Tom, where can people find your list?
The list isn't live yet. It'll go live the first week in December at consumerguide.com.
Perfect.
Well, thank you for giving us this preview. That's a real special treat for us. We really appreciate it.
Well, thank you guys. I love the podcast. It was an honor to be a part of it.
Well, we'll have you back for more.
Absolutely. This has been really fun.
Thank you again,
Oh, my
Tom.
pleasure. Thank you.
All right, Tom, well, we will see you next time, all right?
All right.
Everybody, thanks so much for tuning in this week to the We Are Motor Driven podcast. Thanks again to Tom for sharing that list with us in advance. That's pretty exciting. You can find us at wearemotordriven.com and on YouTube, /wearemotordriven. I am Jennifer Jensen with Auto Exotica and The Median, with the Sons of Speed, Paul and Brendan, and Harvey Briggs from Rides and Drives. We will see you next time. Thanks.